you're the founder of Soul Tonic, which is now not just a hangover cure.
I don't even use the word hangover, it's like a dirty word now.
You were very vocal about your experience on an airplane and how the limited options for hydration, and then you created a TikTok off the back of it that generated a whole heap of hype and virality.
I was already kind of pitching to Qantas, so it's definitely a long process, but I have been pitching the new hydration drink. I'm in the best position I could be for the process that I've got in front of me. We want to create a community of people who do care about what we're doing, and they're going to be funneled into a private group.
Soul Tonic will be on Qantas airplanes in the next 5 years. If you haven't listened to part 1 yet, pause this and go back. I promise you it'll make a lot more sense. If you've already listened to part 1, welcome back. Let's go. In context to you saying that the thing that most people wouldn't, see you as is funny. But you said my business partner is really funny. And I was like, she doesn't have a business partner for Soul Tonic. So are you working on something else that you can talk about?
So yeah, I've been building a second brand really quietly. I used to drop a couple of hints on TikTok, very minor, but I have very much not spoken about it. Definitely haven't built it in public, and neither has she, and she's got her own kind of TikTok following. Her name's Francesca Blundell, and we're not talking about it on purpose, essentially. We just think that everyone is talking about their business all the time, and I'm still talking about my business, and we don't want to. And we want to create a community of people who do care about what we're doing, and they're going to be funneled into a private group, and we're going to talk, all the tea goes in there.
Wow.
And it's not going to be public. And people can request to join it.
Love.
And then they'll get everything first.
So good.
We want to do random dinners where we just book a table and just invite the people in our group to come. Pop by if you want, don't. It's fine. FaceTimes, just make it a really nice community. We've also got an insane products that we're launching, and I've now been told, I didn't know this before, but now I'm not allowed to release what the products are, even though I have spoken about them in the past. But yeah, now the new strategy is that I can't.
Okay.
So we're going to get people more to follow this private group, and then we'll start dropping,
hints.
what it is.
Okay.
But,
I love it.
Most of our content soon, when we do release that we've been working on this thing, is going to be just go to the private group.
Love.
So it's going to be.
Where can they find the private group?
Well, it's
how can they sign up to the private group?
Fully private right now.
Okay.
It's going to be called. We've got the handles. So Topical is the name of the brand.
Cool.
And Society. So Topical Society, and it's our society.
Love.
But yeah, So Topical is such a cool name. I love it because I love topical. It means so many things. It means what's interesting, what's, news, but also topical in terms of skincare. On the skin.
I love it. Oh my God, I have so much to unpack. That's exciting. Will you be sharing that on your own page, or will you keep it very separate?
On my own page, I'll be sharing and encouraging people who are interested in this kind of thing to go follow the society, and you'll see me in there, catch me in there.
Yeah.
And she'll do the same.
Yeah.
I've had the benefit of me being a second-time founder has made things a lot easier in terms of production, MOQs, manufacturing, even freight forwarding, 3PL, everything. I just know how to do it now. And she's a first-time founder, but she's got something that I don't have, which is she is a marketing genius. She's a drama kid. Sorry, she's just she'll just make skits, and she's funny, and she's really engaging.
I love that.
She'll manage that kind of side.
Watch this space.
Yes.
Is that this year?
Yeah, it's going to be soon, so we need to get on it.
Okay.
We're just waiting for a couple of final decisions before we go live with it, but we should be launching potentially first week of June.
Crazy.
Yeah, really soon.
Okay.
We go production of our first product end of this month, in 2 weeks.
Watch this space.
Yeah.
Now, before we end on to quickfire questions, I want to ask you a couple of questions around your relocation.
Oh,
because
yes.
last time we spoke, on the podcast, but not generally. Yes. The last time we spoke on this podcast, you were living in Sydney.
Yes.
You then moved to New York.
I did.
You moved to New York with no real product placement in New York apart from 1 or 2 locations.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that, because that is taking a huge bet on yourself and the brand.
Risky. Yeah.
How did you manage it logistically, but then also from like a strategy standpoint? Like what was your strategy going over there? Was it just to try to get it into as many venues as possible? Did you have a plan, or was it just like figure it out as we go?
It was a two-pronged thing. I always wanted to move to New York, and I was meant to when I worked at LVMH and Red Bull. It was always on my career plan, and either COVID stunted that or a change in jobs stunted that, and then in this case the business stunted that. And so I was talking to my partner Nick, who had always wanted to live in New York as well, and he kind of moved from Melbourne to Sydney, and then he was in Sydney, and then I was like, well, let's go to New York. And you know, maybe that wasn't on his plan at that time, but we did make a decision that we would go together. So he had to quit his job, and I went over with no visa, and same as him. So it was a very big risk. The strategy was, let's just go over and figure it out and see what happens. And what happened was we were there for 3 months, then we went to the UK for 2 months, got a visa, and then came back. And honestly, I had no plan the whole time, but New York's this crazy place where no plan is a plan. Like just going to New York is the plan. And you just figure out so much. There's an amazing Aussie in New York network there. But aside from that, there's things like the Female Founder World Network, which is very strong in the US. So I was able to leverage and meet some incredible US founders through that. And then I had the benefit of walking around and almost starting from day one again, going into stores, meeting the buyers, hustling, and just kind of making it work. And I didn't change packaging to US packaging until this year. Crazy. So I was always selling Australian packaging in. I was just, you know, there's this big misconception that you need to raise all this money to go to the US. And that's if you do things by the book, which is you get the PR agency, you change all your packaging, you redesign, you open this entity, you do all of this stuff.
Yeah.
You can not do that. You could just go and like hustle and see if you've got any product market fit and it's going to work, and like if it's worth you investing in the new packaging. And that's kind of what I did. And so I kind of still bootstrapped my way through the US launch, which is crazy, but I was so stingy. So stingy with business, like I had to be, otherwise I would have gone broke. At the same time, I also launched in the UK, so that was difficult doing both.
Crazy. Now I have a question that's maybe like too nosy, and tell me if it is, but like from a monetary standpoint, like moving to another country is not cheap exercise. And like you didn't really have a job outside of Tonic. Your partner quit his job. How did that work?
So the first 3 months we were in New York, we had free accommodation from Nick's family friends who own buildings in New York.
Love. Handy.
And very handy. And then when we went to the UK, we also had free accommodation from my mum's family friend who lives out of London. And then we subletted all of our friends. We have a lot of friends that live in London, and they were going on these like little Europe trips. So we would just jump around. We were in 7 different sublets of our friends. Then when we came back to the US, when Nick was still looking for a job, we were able to go into a rent-controlled apartment. So the reason why I'm focusing on rent is because rent is typically the biggest expense when you're over there versus just living expenses of food, and which is more because of the exchange rate, but it's nothing like the rental market. So we had a real step up just from that alone. The other thing to note is that I had won that money from the TV show, which came in as a personal transfer into my bank account. It didn't go into the business bank account. So I did have a buffer. And Nick also had a buffer because he's never not worked in his entire corporate career. So he had his own savings. So we were definitely depleting savings so much. But we were living on savings. And then he got a job end of last year. And that's been really helpful as well because we're together as well. So I'm kind of like the risky bet, and he's the safe guy in finance working in New York. And so now we've kind of made it work a little bit more.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that, because I feel as though so many people don't. And I was saying this before in another episode, but I feel like not enough women talk about their finances.
Yeah, because it's really weird. Like, and I did make a video on this actually, because a lot of people move to New York and then they're still buying like all of this designer stuff and they're living this life, but we know that they're working like a $30,000 a year PR job, and we're like, how are you buying like the row every week? Like, it makes no sense.
So
it's like, just if you're getting all of this family money and people are asking you, like, it would just be nicer. Instead of just saying it, instead of setting these unrealistic expectations that this is possible, because moving to New York really isn't possible unless you have a good job or you have some kind of huge savings because it is extraordinarily expensive. Like setting up an apartment, like everything costs a fortune.
Yeah, I get that. What is the one difference that you've noticed between Australia and New York or the US market?
In terms of people or like business?
Either, both.
Well, I mean, this is the classic one, but it really is true. Like in the US, like everyone wants to help you. Everyone's, sky's the limit. How can I connect? What you're doing, if you're doing something cool, it's like the coolest thing in the world. Everyone thinks it's really cool. They'll tell you, they'll want to support you. That is like the major thing. And I also think the other thing is that, I moved over at the age of 30 and my mum had me at 30, and I always had this weird thing about the age of 30 because I thought that signified when I was to have kids in like societal expectations. But then completely uprooting my life and moving overseas, I felt really weird about that. But when you're in New York, 30 is so young. People call you a baby all the time.
Yeah.
They not even, no one talks about kids. No one talks about settling down. It's just never a topic of conversation. Whereas I come back here and it very much is still, always. It's just an undercurrent. So they're probably the massive differences.
Yeah.
But there's so many like nuances between the two cultures.
Yeah.
There is one thing though, New York is like its own country. It's not really like the US. Like yes, it's in the US, but it's so transient and there's so many internationals that you kind of get access to so many other cultures as well, not just US people, but everyone kind of comes to New York for the same joint shared thing, which is like they want to make it or make something of themselves, and they want to connect with other people that have kind of a similar outlook.
Yeah, no, I completely get that. I feel as though I heard Michelle Battersby talk about it actually on a podcast that I listened to recently, and she was saying coming back to Australia, everyone's talking about houses.
Yes.
And she's like, what the fuck? She's like, no one in America talks about buying a house. But she's like, I literally come back and it's like all my friends are talking about buying a house, or like that being the big milestone in their life. And I think that, well, I mean, whilst it's an achievement to buy a house, and if that's what you want to do, go girl. But like, I also think that like starting a business and taking a risk that way is also just as
like worth celebrating as much.
Worth celebrating.
The housing thing I will never understand.
Yeah.
I just do not get why everyone is so obsessed with buying a house and locking up all their money and then feeling stuck and feeling like, people potentially, overextend themselves as well. So then they lose out in other aspects of their life. I think if you can buy something and still maintain a good quality of life, great. But if you can't,
don't stress yourself.
I don't know why you're stressing yourself out so much.
Yeah, I agree. I don't really think that it's the biggest indicator of success. I have a couple of questions before we go to quickfire. I want to touch on the thing that you spoke about just before around the fact that you're not really talking about your business anymore on your own channels. Do you think that that's a conscious decision that you've made where you kind of want to remove the personal brand from the business? Or do you still think that personal brand plays a role when it comes to building businesses and growing businesses?
I think it will always play a role. I think personal brand is always important for business. It always has been. Obviously, there's been evolution with TikTok coming in and how Instagram's changed. But I think if we think about the core of it, it's always played a role and it always will. I just think for me personally, it is easier for me to grow this business without feeling like I'm the only one that's linked to it. Yeah. It is easier for me to expand and to bring new people into it and to work on it than feeling like every public hit has to be related to me. I just really need this business to stand separately. However, I will still be using my personal brand for the new business, the current business, future businesses, investing, things that I like, things that I think about, and I think there'll be an element where people will still connect me to these businesses, but it won't be the only thing. Yeah. And I want my TikTok bio to have like 8 businesses in it. Yeah. One day, even if I'm just like a strategic investor or something, I don't want to just be that one thing. Yeah, I love that. Knowing what you know now about building businesses, you're now in your second business that you're building. And I have no doubt that in 5 years' time, if we sit back here in 2 years' time and you've got another 4, I would not be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. But knowing what you know now, what do you think is one of the most underrated things people can do when it comes to building a business? Putting something out there that isn't ready. For sure. Putting something out there that's 70% ready is the most underrated thing, because you'll learn so much more from that 70% ready thing and the feedback you get from that than waiting till it's 100% and then still learning that same lesson. Yeah. Just later. Yeah. You always iterate. You know, day one is when the product's out. Like, I don't even think I'm in day one of the new business yet, because it all starts again once you're in it.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think people really stuck in their own heads.
Yeah. Done is better than perfect.
It's a perfectionist thing.
Yeah.
It's a trait.
I get that. I feel that. Now, I wanted to play this game with you because you really are the kind of, for me especially, whenever we catch up, you're always doing some kind of treatment, some kind of skincare. You're talking about the next thing that you're eating or drinking or whatever for your brain. Like, I love hearing you talk about the things that you are like passionate about when it comes to like wellness and skincare and just general glow up.
Love.
So I wanted to play this game with you, which is underrated or overrated.
Yeah.
And I'm going to read you a list of things and you're going to tell me whether they're underrated or overrated.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Matcha.
Overrated.
Why?
I just think still like 80% of matchas on market are so sweet and are actually a really unhealthy drink and are not properly made and are just, you're just drinking sugar, like light coloured sugar. And the strawberry matcha, cheesecake matcha, all of these vanilla matchas, like they're all, you'd be better off drinking like a full sugar Coke, in my opinion.
Love.
But I also drink black coffee, so.
Same.
That's just, I love a good quality matcha that's done well, but it's just like few and far between.
Yeah. Glass skin routine.
Underrated.
Collagen supplements.
Overrated.
Cold plunging.
Overrated. And I think cold plunging is good for females.
Agreed. I used to.
Yeah, look, I think it has a time and place, but I wouldn't be using it as a regular tool in recovery if you're a female, just every morning or something.
Agreed. I also was reading this thing recently because I had a conversation with one of my other girlfriends about cold plunging, and she shared a whole heap of research that's been done that if you do it slightly warmer, so still cold but not like 6 degrees and under, if it's between 6 and 12 degrees, it's actually more beneficial for women.
That makes sense to me.
Same. So I was like, it's actually, the science is there, and I'm like, we just don't need to go as cold as men.
Yeah, so but where are the cold plungers that are for women?
Is that not your next business idea?
They should have them next to each other, one for men, one for women, because nothing is ever built for us.
Never. Mouth taping.
This is a hard one for me to comment on because I do have a friend who started a mouth taping business and I love the business. It's called Sleep or Die, and I've used their mouth tape, which I loved, but I'm on the fence with it. Like, I don't feel like I need it. Do you need it? I know this isn't meant to have this much conversation.
No, we can have conversation about it. I've never tried it. I think I have this fear that I will stop breathing because like what happens sometimes when you wake up with a stuffy nose or whatever, like, and you can't breathe through your mouth. Like, that's my fear.
There's a slit like in your mouth. Like, you can still breathe, but it's stuck there. I think if you...
I don't think... See, my thing with mouth taping, my hot take, is that if you don't have your diet and sleep and everything else, if you are drinking still and mouth taping...
So that's my problem with everything you just said.
Yeah.
It's like people don't have the fundamentals down pat and they're trying to do the 1%ers. So the 1%ers are all of the things you just listed.
Yeah.
And people, it's honestly, if you just have a whole food diet and like get movement in every day.
And sleep
enough, you have done most of the way there. And then you can look at your supplement stack and all the rest of the stuff.
I couldn't agree more, because I feel as though like I'm one of those people that like I obviously grew up in like as a fitness influencer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yuck. But I grew up in that era, and that's kind of what I started in social media as or doing. And I feel as though there's so many people get hooked on these. Like, I have been one of those people that have tried everything. I've tried appetite suppressant pills. I've tried everything under the sun to just like be the healthiest. I've tried shake diets. I've tried, everything just to try and find the healthiest version of myself. And as I've got older, I'm like, common sense kicks in a little bit, and you're just like, actually, if I just nail my diet and don't drink anymore, like all of those extra things don't matter if I don't have the fundamentals down pat.
And the biggest one that we haven't touched on is the biggest one overall is managing your stress. If you honestly, stress is the biggest thing. It causes so many diseases. It causes, it caused my dad early onset cancer. Like, it causes things constantly. If you're constantly cortisol, your elevated heart rate, that's the biggest thing. Like, your mouth tape's not going to fix that.
How do you manage stress? Because we can't avoid it.
No, particularly not me. So I've got this thing where It's weird. My neuroscientist explained it to me. So I feel stress, but my brain doesn't clock that I'm stressed until later. So my body is so physically stressed because I'm doing all of these things, but my brain is like, you're fine, you're fine, you're fine.
Yeah.
So my body, in the way of like hormones, my PCOS, irregular cycles, all kicks in. But my brain's like, I'm fine. Whereas most people, the opposite.
Yeah.
Their body is completely fine, and their brain is like, I'm stressed, and they've got anxiety, they're overstressing themselves.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't have that, so I've got this like opposite issue.
Sure.
So I can run for ages without clocking.
Yeah.
But my body's like shutting down.
I feel like I'm the same.
So it's weird. So
Maybe it's the overexposure.
yeah, probably.
Yeah.
The way I manage it is like basically the fundamentals, which is just like a good enough diet most of the time, exercise, sleep, but then also just taking off the pressure and giving myself space to enjoy myself. Like boundaries, like taking the weekend off, not replying to the thing, not thinking that I have to be everywhere all the time.
Yeah.
Having a fun night with my family or out in New York or like going to the comedy, like, you know, doing things.
Yeah. No, I love that.
And travel for me is huge.
Yeah. Well, you do a lot of that.
I do too much of that.
No, you do so much of that. So I feel like that cup is full.
Yeah.
We can keep going with that. So mouth taping, on the fence.
Look, I haven't used it enough to really comment.
Fair.
But I would say with the trajectory of it, probably overrated.
Fasting,
Oh, overrated. Horrible. So bad.
especially for women.
It's shocking.
5 a.m. club.
Overrated.
Hello, me again. If you keep coming back to top of mind but still haven't hit follow or subscribe, this is your sign. You have no idea how much it means to me. The more follows we get, the better the guests. The more conversations we can be having, the more you can learn for free. Win-win. So go on, hit follow. I'll wait. Okay, now back to the episode.
I know that's you, but like...
No, but that's me. That's not because I'm like, I become a certain person by being at the 5 a.m.
But
club.
like, if you're getting up at 5 a.m, anyone who gets up at 5 a.m. is posting about the fact they've got up at 5 a.m. And that's why I think it's overrated.
Agreed.
So I'm like, shut up. Not to you, to the others.
You can tell me to shut up. That's okay.
I'm just jealous.
mute me, babe.
I'm just jealous.
Just mute me. That's fine. Lymphatic drainage.
Underrated. It's amazing.
I agree. And it's only something I recently discovered.
It's so good.
Fermented foods.
Underrated.
Yeah.
Been around in Eastern culture forever, and it's so good for you.
Korean skincare.
Still underrated, I would say. I know it's huge in the cosmetic industry, but the way they approach skincare is so advanced, and their advancements in the cosmetic industry is crazy. Particularly because the Korean government's agenda is just to fund as much innovation as possible. Whereas like the Australian government, they don't give you funding for an idea. So for example, if you're in Korea, you can be like to the Korean government, I've got this idea. Will you fund it with me in this lab for like 2 years just to like explore it? And they'll do that.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's insane. That's why they're so far advanced.
Yeah.
And that's why every second place is like a dermatology place or a plastic surgery place or a skincare place.
Love that. Wow.
And also Korean people, they're not actually using all of the skincare that we are brought into. That's like a Western marketing tactic.
Yeah.
They're just doing really amazing treatments, and then they're using certain skincare products to, you know, tide them over so they do have that glass skin. They're not, you know, I have Korean friends who just like laugh at the Western world. They're like, there's a brand called Beauty of Joseon. I don't know if you know it. It's a Korean beauty brand. It's massive. And they're like, no one in Korea uses that brand. Like that's just marketing to the US and Australia. Like no one uses that brand.
Marketing to uncultured people.
Yeah.
We love that. Take advantage of it whilst you can.
I mean, the US is consumerism is crazy.
Yeah.
So it works.
Yeah, absolutely. Sleep, we already spoke about it.
Underrated.
Yeah. Ozempic or GLP-1s?
If you're skinny, overrated. I think, you know, people can do what they want, but like, why would you want to inject yourself if you're a normal size? If you've got insulin resistance, endo, PCOS, it's like PCOS or and your doctor thinks it's a good pathway, I think probably underrated. I think it's probably quite incredible.
Yeah. Meditation.
Oh, I feel this one's triggering because I think it's probably underrated, but I don't do it. And I believe I should.
Cool.
So that's just like you should do that.
Yeah.
Kind of reminder.
Okay. I'll text you every day saying,
do
have you
meditation?
meditated? No, I don't. I probably should. I feel like my form of meditation is walking.
I agree. Same.
So like I walk the dog morning and night. I walk with my partner Alex, but like in the morning we barely say a word to each other. Like,
Is this at the 5 a.m.?
This is my 4:30 in the morning walk. Yeah.
When do you gym then?
After.
Oh, okay. Does Alex come?
To the gym? No, he goes to work.
Oh, he goes early.
He'll ride in the morning. So like on the weekends, he's a big like long distance rider, runner, mountain biker, all of that.
Love that.
So he does that like usually. He'll run in the afternoons or mountain bike in the afternoons if he finishes work early enough, especially with daylight savings being a little bit shit with the afternoon light because you can't mountain bike in the dark. I mean, I'm sure you can, but it's probably not the safest decision. And then he'll usually do like long rides and runs on the weekend. So he'll go for like a 90K ride on the weekend.
It's crazy.
Wild. And he gets a new bike this week and I just joked with him and I'm like, I'm not going to see you for an entire week. Like you're just going to ride and just go. But we love that for him.
I do.
So my routine at the moment is normally we wake up at 4 or 4:30 depending on what our day looks like.
So what time do you go to sleep?
Between like 8 and 9:30.
Amazing.
Yeah. I used to be really bad with sleep. Really bad. Like I used to sleep 4 hours a night and be okay with it.
Crazy.
But now I'm like, I make a joke, like Alex will make a joke about me or like make fun of me or something like that. And I'll be like, you're lucky I've had enough sleep. Because if I didn't have enough sleep, I would have taken it really personally.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, everyone does. Everyone's short-tempered.
Totally. And so
angry.
I feel like the more sleep I get, the more I can take jokes and not take it personally.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm a better person with more sleep. So I've actually, you know, like I know we joke that like, yes, I wake up early. I feel like that's the only way that I can fit time in with Alex in the morning.
I get it.
I go to the gym and then I can start my day. But I have been in the last few months taking a Sunday and not setting an alarm. And he's gone out for a morning ride and I've just slept in. And I feel like a changed woman as a result of it. And I feel like for so long I've sat there having to be like, if I'm a morning person, I've got to get up more early every single morning without fail. And I just don't think as women we're wired to do that. Like we are wired to need more sleep at certain points in our cycle. The more research I do about it, the more it becomes abundantly clear as to why I need more sleep or why I feel more tired at certain points in my cycle. And I think until I came off the pill, it was never something that I truly paid attention to.
Yeah, same.
And coming off the pill, I was like, holy wow, like this is crazy.
No, same. It's crazy.
Crazy. But yeah, I feel like I've learned a lot about myself and my body since kind of just leaning into that. And I think that also as a founder that wants to do shit all the time and wants to be busy and doing shit all the time, I've had to kind of make my peace with resting is not a form of failure.
No, resting is recharging. So
resting's part of the process.
Resting is like working, essentially.
Yeah, it's part. And can I tell you something? Like, it became abundantly clear to me when I lost my friend last year to cancer. I was sitting with her in chemo, and her doctor came in. She'd done a day of chemo, and she said, you know, so tomorrow I've got my 2 days of rest. And he goes, yeah. She goes, can I go for like walks and stuff? And he was like, no, like you have to literally be like horizontal resting. She's like, oh, but like, could I do like a light Pilates session or something? And he was like, no. And he then turned around and said something that he might not have thought was profound, but in the moment I sat there and like, I feel like my life clicked into perspective. And he was like, you have to see rest the next 2 days as part of your chemotherapy. Like, it's just the same as sitting here for 6 hours and receiving chemotherapy. You have to lay down as part of that process. And I was like, whoa.
So true.
Like, that's the way in which I now view rest. I used to have a really bad relationship with it where...
It's just like a toxic mindset with rest.
Yeah, well, I spoke to my therapist about it.
Yeah, no, I used to as well.
Like my therapist, and this is probably really helpful for anybody that does struggle with rest, we kind of unpacked this idea of like, whenever I'd watch a movie or like I'd sit down and watch the TV, I'd always grab my laptop and sit with my laptop. And she was like, why? And I was like, because I feel like it's an opportunity for me. I'm not doing anything else. Like I can just, you know, work on something that doesn't necessarily need my like undivided attention or whatever. And she was like, but what happens if you don't do that then? And I was like, well, I just feel lazy. And she's like, what does, you know, being lazy mean to you? And I was like, well, lazy people fail. And she was like, bingo. And I was like, oh.
True.
So I was like, this idea of resting for me came back to this idea of like, if I'm not working, I'm failing. And so making peace with that as well is super important.
Yeah, I completely agree. I love that.
But yes, that's a long way to answer. Do I meditate? No, no, I don't.
Quick fire questions, you reckon?
Well, now we go into quick fire questions. I did ask you some of these questions last time you were on, so I'm interested to compare what you said last time to what you said this time. And you don't know because you've never listened to that episode since it went out.
I have no idea.
But you'll now know. What's the one brand that's top of mind for you at the moment?
Probably still Rode right now.
Yeah.
And Alex Earl's brand. Rode because of Coachella.
Yeah. Vibe.
I was actually invited to their event in Coachella, but obviously I wasn't there. So that was cool. So that's why it's top of mind.
Yep.
And then Alex Earl's, just seeing how that has all played out, and with her current drama with Alex Cooper, like that whole Alex Earl thing is just, that's probably what's top of mind. Right
Yeah.
now.
Rightfully so.
Yeah.
Do we think it's a PR stunt?
No.
No, neither.
I think it's real.
Yeah. It's really triggering for me, can I tell you that?
Really?
Yeah. Because I feel as though it triggers that part in me that I'm like, when I've had interactions with senior women in the workforce who have been awful, it's that kind of bitchy, like female against female vibe.
I don't like that it's female versus female.
No, neither.
From either of them. Like, I don't like either.
Neither. And I think that neither of them can win from it.
No.
And I think that the time in between has gone too long for it to be a PR stunt. Like, I think that if Alex Cooper posted something and then Alex Earl responded, and then all of a sudden Alex Cooper launched that she had her on her podcast or whatever.
Which is what everyone thought.
Makes sense.
I don't think so.
But I just think the time has gone too long.
Agree.
And the time between it. And I just think that Alex Cooper as a female employer, it's actually terrifying that you would talk about a former employee like that.
Yeah, I just think none of
it have been aired.
Yeah, someone did like a TikTok being like, Alex Cooper had Mel Robbins on her podcast, Call Her Daddy in the past, and obviously Mel's whole thing is like let them theory, and she was like, Alex could have just applied that theory just
literally
this time. Just
let it go.
Just let her.
Like, why create online
Alex
drama about it?
And whatever she's doing, just like let it, whatever.
I agree. What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
I mean, something that I always come back to is that like everything happens for a reason, and that's just so I can find peace with bad things happening.
Yeah.
And that really helps me. It's like, when
Love
there's
that.
a blow up, I'm like, oh, it happens for a reason because it's going to end up, being a positive thing in the future.
Yeah, love that. What piece of advice would you give to somebody who's looking to start a business?
I just I'm such a yapper. I just could not give one piece of advice, but it's
everything.
But it's like, if you're really passionate about this thing, just do it and make it happen. Don't survey every single person in your family and community, and like, if you think it's going to work, just give it a shot. And if it doesn't, like, fail fast and exit. Like, that's fine.
Love. If you had a theme song, what would it be?
I'm intrigued as to what I said about this question.
I didn't ask you this last time.
Oh, I was like, I wonder what I would have said. I mean, I've just been listening to a lot of Justin Bieber, which is pretty boring because of Coachella.
Love that. Same, to be fair. Same. If you work in any other business for any other founder for a day, who would it be?
In Alex Earl's new business.
Yeah.
I would love to go in there right now.
Yeah.
Early stage. They did $1 million in sales in their first day. Like, I just loved it. They've poached some top talent from all around other businesses.
Yep.
Love to get in there.
Agreed. Yeah, it's such an interesting... Do you think that her brand will survive?
I think it will. I think it's niche enough, and it's really targeting a certain specific demographic within the skincare industry.
Yeah. What did you think about her launch?
I thought it got a lot of attention, and I think that's what she wanted.
Yeah.
And so I think it worked.
Yeah, agreed. I think there was a bit of a missed opportunity with her not sharing her whole story.
Agree, and there's so much I listened to after of people like dissecting it and blah, 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 which I agreed with so many takes, but at the end of the day, if I looked at it as a whole, it stopped the internet.
Yeah.
So what more can you
And it
ask
sold
for?
it, sold.
Exactly.
Like, it shifted product. What's one thing that you help keep, what's one thing that you think that keeps a brand or a business top of mind?
I think innovation. In their service, in their product, in their offering, in the, in how they speak about the brand.
If you had to start building a business, which is kind of ironic because you're already building another business. If you had to start building a brand or a business tomorrow, what's the one thing that you're absolutely doing?
If it's a product, I'm making sure that it's light.
Light.
Yeah, light. Very light. Doesn't weigh much. Many reasons for that. Mostly is that the heavier the product weight makes
Harder
it
it is
very
to
difficult to ship. But there's so many other supply chain issues.
Yep.
And the size is small and light.
A quote that is always top of mind for you.
I don't have a quote
Okay.
that's
Fair.
top of mind. What's yours?
I have quite a few. I feel like I always have quotes that float around wherever it's
I don't
relevant.
have like quotes. I have like my own things
Sayings?
that I say.
What's your one saying that you go to almost every week?
Okay, actually, the one thing I've been saying, which is really lame, but I actually truly agree in recent times, is just so simple that your network is your net worth.
Love.
I really like that.
Yeah. Ash Rasso said the same thing.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. What is your go-to comfort food after a bad day?
Ooh, something has to be hearty and warm. I'm a big meat eater, so I'm thinking like beef brisket vibes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like a burger or just like more
more like big bowls of things. I'm big volume. Like I want lots of meat.
Okay.
Or an eye fillet with chippies, like a steak Brits.
Chippies. Yeah. Huge
and
vibe.
hot chips. Yeah.
Yeah. Love. What's the weirdest, most random side project that you've started and has never seen the light of day?
Oh, I've done so many. I mean, but they've all seen the light of day. See, that's the thing with me. If I start something,
You're gonna finish it.
It always goes
Yeah.
out, even if it's shocking. So I used to sell tie-dye things, but when tie-dye was a trend.
Cute.
I used to sell my business studies notes. I made a business out of that and almost got like expelled for that, but I made money.
Important.
I started like this kind of app thing in uni. Everything I start, gets somewhere.
Yeah.
And then I pull it when it's obviously a terrible, like long-term idea.
There's no scalability.
Yeah,
to it.
no
Or
scalability.
longevity.
But I will do something. Like I'm always like doing things.
Love. Now I have a question for you. In 10 years' time, what do you hope people say about Sophie Hood?
I mean, I just want to be known as a good person. You know, when they're like, oh, Sophie, like, you know, we say that about someone, you love someone, you're like, they're such a legend. Like, I just want them to be like, Sophie's just such a legend. Like, she's a good person. Like, nothing has to be about what she's done or any success. I don't really care about that. I don't want people to be like, she's been so successful. I think it's more like, she's just a legend. Like, I want to hang around her.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel it's like you're already doing that.
Well, I hope.
I feel like that.
Thanks.
I feel like that, truly. I feel so lucky that you have come back onto the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
That you've said yes to coming back a second time, which means that I didn't scar you the first time, which is great.
No, exactly. But I also just have bad memories. So maybe I forgot.
Maybe.
When I listen to the podcast back, I'll let you know.
Okay, you
If
let
I
me know.
regret my
You let me
decision.
know. Let me know.
No. Absolutely not. Thank you so much.
I feel like, yeah, it's been an absolute privilege watching your brand grow over the last couple of years and seeing where Soul Tonic is now to where it was in 2024 is absolutely crazy. And I cannot wait for the next 3, 4, 5, 10 years of growth from Sophie Hood, not just in Soul Tonic, but in all your other business adventures that you have going on as well. But I genuinely just want to say thank you so much for being so generous with your time, not just for the podcast, but whenever I reach out, you're always like, yeah, let's catch up or let's do this. And it's just, it doesn't go unnoticed or unappreciated. So thank you so much.
Nice. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us for another episode. Remember, you don't win by posting more. You win by being the name they think of first. Stay top of mind.